Hello everyone and welcome to another video from the Demon Overlord. Today I'm coming with a follow-up to those Nolzurs Marvelous Miniatures that I did a video on before. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out, one of my older videos. And do like and subscribe down below. Helps me keep these videos going. Leave a comment if you have any questions, concerns, or anything you want to add. Anyway, moving on. So, we'll start with a piece of terrain that I got with, if you remember from the miniature market order, we have a nice little cobblestone wall here. As you can see, got a nice little bit of some bricklaying going on there, or rock laying, I guess would be the correct term. A little greenery. After I got done giving it a little quick coating of enamel, it is nice and ready to go. And as you will see here in a few seconds, it is actual miniature size. So first up with the miniatures we're going to go with, we're going to start with some of the medium class guys. So first up, we're going to start with the tiniest one, the Basilisk. As you can see, he's a pretty small little guy. I did get a nice dark blue for him. Dark brown, a little red on his back. It's hard to see the glowing eyes, but he does have little light blue eyes. And as you know, these guys turn you stone, then eat your stone pieces, and they turn back to flesh in their stomachs. So, very interesting creatures. And nice to actually have a nice, good, easy Basilisk miniature. As you can see, for a medium, he would be able to hide behind that stone wall and take you by surprise. So, for quick comparison's sake, here he is next to a Reaper Bones Basilisk. I can get the camera focus here. There we are. And as you can see, he's a little bit smaller. Maybe I'd probably say this is like an Elder Basilisk, or maybe the Forest variety. He's a bit bigger. Something like that. But, you know, another good lizard to use. So I'll put him over here. And the next creature we have, I don't have a comparison because it's actually the first time I've gotten this miniature. It is my Grell, which I do like how it came out. I gave it like a blue mouth for just a different color. Nice black tip tentacles. Nice good pulsating slightly purpley gray brain. And tentacles I kept the same color just for the sake of it. And like I said, I do love these little flying stands. Nice little swish there going. After giving him a nice coating of enamel, make sure he's nice and protected. He looks great and ready to roll and sneak down on players and rip them apart with his evil tentacles and evil beak. Next up here, we're going to go with more creatures. Here we have one of my Velociraptors, or raptors in this case, as they are medium class. They'd be a Deinonychus or Clawfoot Raptor you could use their stats for. This one I chose to go the blue with a little bit of a greener style on the back for those stripes. Nice red mouth with teeth. And with eyes, I actually gave them a little bit of a copper on the eyes. Because as you know, with certain reptiles, they have that copperish look in their eyes. And he's ready to jump in, pounce on a player, and rip them apart. Which also is cool, because he can kind of hide behind the fence, the little gate there, too, or the little wall, too. And here's the second raptor from that set. This one I chose to be a little bit more, like, simplistic. Because I wanted one to be a little more simpler than the other. Just to, like, kind of be harken back to the old Jurassic Park days of how simplicity works. He looks really nice. As you can see him next to the other group here. He looks great next to his little compatriot. And now we're going to move on to the next one, which we're going to move technically up the scale to humanoids, but probably up the scale since these would be bigger humanoids. We're going to start with my Goliaths. Now, this is the first Goliath in the pack. This is the supposed low-level Goliath, or the simple Goliath. As you see, them a simple paint job, some simple line work on him to give him some slight line work that you'd find on a Goliath. Nothing really special. I didn't give him any golds or anything like that because he would be low level. But I also wanted him to look different than the other Goliath to make them two separate possible characters. As I know they do have the same axe, which, darn, that made it difficult. But as you can see, very nice Goliath. I'll give him a quick comparison to the only other giant I have similar, which is this Psychic Giant here. As you can see, pretty much similar size. Probably a little thinner in the build, but, you know, interesting. And a very nice miniature nonetheless. This is great for a PC Goliath, or just a cool Goliath to throw against your enemies and actually have a nice Goliath to have on your miniature library. And now we move on to the second Goliath. This is the big boy, or the high level. I decided to give him a little bit different coloration, so a little black puff tufts there on his shoulder pads and feet. I gave him a dark brown grizzly bear style pelt on the head. I was thinking of going polar bear, but then I was like, nah, we'll just stick with grizzly. Because, I mean, his color scheme wouldn't work. Gave him a little bit more silvery metals on him, as you can see. A little bit thicker blue lines in some of his spots there. And that's to make it so he looked different. And I gave him a blue, like, electrical, sort of a bluish energy up there. I know it looks like fire, but I was kind of thinking more like the Storm Warrior. Or the Storm Zealot, I think is actually the proper term. But really cool, so I want to give him like that electrical energy. So I made it a nice light blue. As you can see, he looks really nice there with the group. And we're going to now go towards the other giant kin that I have over here, and they are Firebolgs. Now, as you know, Firebolgs, they are Fey giants. Original Firebolgs would be very similar to like just a basic humanoid or medium class tall human with red hair. But after experiencing a lot of time in the Fey Wilds, they transform. So here is the Firebolg Druid from Descent into Avernus. They're a little what she looks like now. And we're going to do a comparison to my lower level Druid of the set. Now, as you can see, I made him look pretty nice. I gave him a nice good orange there. I gave his spell effect a purple, just for a difference of flair. That way he can be slightly usable for a Firebolg Wizard as well, since I don't really happen to have a Firebolg Wizard. And as you can see, he's about her height. He's a little crouched over, so, you know, and I gave him a lot of that nice red hair for him. Little green on his staff, just a little, because he's like, you know, supposed to be low level. A little red on his arm hair there. And a nice little bit of some silvery on the part of his cloak, just to give him a little flair. Oops, dropped in there. And then I gave him a nice little silver dagger, just to get some flavor. And as you can see, it turned out really good. I really like how he came out. He came out really nice. And he's ready to go on the board and blast some magic spells. So I'll put her down here for a second while I find him. There he is. And this is the high-level Firebolg. As you can see, he's a lot more detailed. A lot more fancy. As he has also a nice pelt of a, I guess we'll say a wolf or a fox. Something like that. We got a nice gold-tipped staff here. And he's also manipulating earth magic, which is pretty cool. And he's got like a more sophisticated, more expensive cloak. And next to the female Firebolg, I keep holding her up. She's for scale to actual normal pre-painted. He is pretty much her size, probably a little bigger. He's not standing up fully straight like she is. And yeah, she's also not standing straight either. So it's not really the perfect match, but you know, a nice comparison nonetheless. And he is nice and ready to go. Now, you might be also thinking, why are they a little bit darker than she is in skin? I feel that male Firebolgs probably have a little darker skin as to help, like, just be a differentiator. And they seem to be a little bit darker in the book compared to Goliath's skin color. So, I just went with it. Next up, we're getting into the big giants. And by big, I only mean large classes. These guys are only large. We have my Etten. This is my unpainted Etten here. He has a very pale skin color, as you can see. And then I gave him some white, like, powder, like as if he did one of those Native American style, like, paints that you'd rub on. Like, you'd make a powdery paint and you'd slap it on. And then I gave him some, like, red paint on there. And some green paint being simple colors you would find in a cave, such as, like, moss to grind up into green. And, weirdly enough, maybe blood to grind up for red. And we'll compare him to the older giant I did. This is my older Etten. As you can see, I went with the older man style to it. And he also seems to have a lot darker skin. That was mostly because I went with a tan skin and gave it a tone and all that, and a dark wash, and it happened to come out this really dark color. He also, weirdly enough, got a shinier look from my my enameling. Actually kept his skin shiny, and I think it's because of the washes underneath kept him shiny to begin with. But it works for him because it actually looks like he's a tanned, you know, Etten after all these years of spending out probably in the sunlight. Maybe he's more sun active than this bad boy who's more cave, so he's still very pale. But, you know, two nice, very good Ettens there. Put him back over here, and we'll put him behind these guys. There we go. Let the camera focus. And now we get to the big dogs of this set, of this grouping, the dragons. Now, I brought two young class dragons, or large class dragons, to compare them with. Because I know that, like, someone's just probably saying, oh, he's just spouting smoke. He's just complaining. Nope. I actually brought samples to compare. So we're going to start with the golden dragon, as it's simple. So here is my golden dragon, fully painted and ready to go. I just kept a very simple gold color for him. He has those nice blue eyes there, which I thought were just nice. Some people thought I should have given him like yellow or red, but I was afraid of them getting washed out. Now, there are two different types of gold. They're really hard to see. You can just notice how this gold is just a slight darker. This is a greedy gold, and this is bright gold for on mostly the body. And the underside of the wings, I kept them a little darker. So, really looks nice here. And this is the like yellow or golden dragon, which has a more yellowish color on his wings because he's young. And as you can see, he's not as impressive like with the shine of the gold, but he does have a very smaller head. You even notice he has a probably similar amount of whiskers. But with the old gold dragon, they just look more impressive and a little bit more intimidating. I do notice they put white on the old miniature. This is an old miniature. I had to put him on a newer base to fix him because this base is very warped. But as you can see, look how much smaller he is. He's literally like probably a little bit more than double the size of this. And you're telling me that he is not an adult. Like, really? I have to go, WizKids, come on. You're missing an opportunity to give people something they really need. Adult Gold Dragon miniatures. Just call them adults. I do. I plan to, because I already have the young dragon right here ready to go. And he's on a large base, so he fits perfectly. But really cool. And as you see, my gold dragon's ready to go out there and spread his divine wisdom and rule, as gold dragons like to do. And I'm also going to do a quick comparison with some huge class dragons first. And we're going to go with a fellow metallic dragon, the Iron Dragon, which would look down probably on a gold dragon due to its less aggressiveness. This is an actual elder Iron Dragon, so it shows the proof. And they look in the same body size type. Why would you just not simply say adult? Anyway, moving on. We're getting to my favorite of this group. We have the Red Dragon. So I can bring him over here. I'm going to put his fire in his mouth a little bit. And there he is, the Red Dragon. Very nice body. I did give him a little bit of different coloration in his wings, a little darker color. They're a little less blue, or the camera's kind of not picking up enough of the blue, but oh, there you go. See, it's a little more of a blue than a black, like it is on the actual miniature they used. The other one is very pale. I made him a little bit nicer, because here's the actual WizKids version. And look at the size difference. Other than the wings being a little bit smaller, and a little less, like, musculature of the wing arms, this dragon could not be bigger and more powerful than this dragon, or even equivalent. This one is a lot bigger and stronger, and his nice volcano base I gave him. Just so I show that off too. He's more impressive. I love the flight base on him. He's more impressive and cool. And look at these nice orange horns I gave for color. The old dragon's more dull and doesn't need to be so shiny and special. This one, being a nice grown adult, should have a nice good colors, nice brighter colors that help match his sculpt to make him look amazing and fantastic. He, to me, is amazing. And I will take his fire out because I really don't like how the fire fits in the mouth. I feel I'm worried he's going to, break it out of his mouth. Like it's going to break the jaw. So now we're going to put him in the back here. But before we do, let's do a quick comparison to a Pathfinder huge dragons. I don't really have many huge dragons of official pre-painted. Here is a blue dragon. They are about the same size. Yes, the wings are a little off. But honestly, comparable enough in size that literally that's a good adult red dragon for your group. So you can finally have a nice adult red dragon to use in your campaigns. Take him out of here, because he's not part of the Nolzurs Marvelous. Now here we are with the full painted set. They look great. They're ready to roll. They're ready to tear up some players or possibly assist them and save their lives. And they are looking great. If you guys have any comments, do comment down below. Like I said, do like and subscribe. Helps keep the channel going. And if you want to get a hold of me on other media, I am on Twitter at 01Berserker. And if you want to also get a hold of my group for the Dice and Dummies, the podcast I belong to, where we are 5th edition, and we are on Season 2, where I am the Dungeon Master, where you can hear all the crazy voices and effects I like to throw out myself. And making my characters' lives a nightmare, making them make those hard choices. Do leave us, definitely join up and become a subscriber, as well as do review. We love to hear from our fans. We love to hear, notes and things if we're doing something wrong. We love to hear from people. That's what we like. And that's all I got for you today, guys. Bye-bye, and join me again on my next video. See you later, and adios.